Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina episode. I am really excited because I have got one of the most amazing youth. I've had many amazing youth, don't get me wrong. However, just what he has been doing since he was his first birthday, and he's going to share everything with you so you can know what it is. And he's looking for donations, and hopefully for the holiday season, it will be something that you will be able to help out in any way, small, large, anything. It is just good cause for the community. And then I have a special segment that you'll just have to wait and see what that is going to be. And I went on a literary book trip, and I want to talk about that. So I'm going to talk about a couple of books that I have found that I am really enjoying reading and want to obviously share with you. So folks, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have a young man who is with me. He has been with me in the past, but I had caught him on after he had had his fundraising event, is what I call it, or giveaway, really. It is called Cyrus Birthday Cause. And Cyrus, you just had a birthday, so I'm going to say, welcome to teenagehood, being a teenager. Oh my goodness. So I was so afraid because I know when we first got together, you had just turned 11. And before we did the interview today, I thought he could be taller than I. And I never want to reference a youth, a little guy, but you are a young man, but you have a huge heart, and that's where I wanted to go with this. And the things that you have done throughout the years, I'm so excited for you to share with my viewers, because if half the people in this world had the heart like you did to do for others as you have done, even just for a couple of years of their lives, I couldn't imagine what the world would be like. It would just definitely be a better place to live, I know for sure. So welcome to the show. And will you please share with folks, what is Cyrus's birthday cause? What is that?
It's where I give blankets to the patients at the hospital, and I give gifts to the nurses, firefighters, policemen, and officers.
And I know this year you're going to do something else, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Cyrus, when did you start doing this and collecting donations from people? I called it a fundraiser, but it's more, well, kind of is, because you folks can also give monetarily as well. But how many years has it been since you've been doing this?
It's been since my first birthday, and it started by me giving gifts to the firefighters' toy drive.
Okay. So you were one. So was it kind of something that your parents thought of at first?
Yeah.
So the first few years it was mom and dad. And then when you got to be a certain age, what age was it that you actually said, yeah, I want to keep doing this for my birthday?
It's about 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And they asked me if I still wanted to keep doing this, and I did.
What's it like trying to prepare and gather these things for folks? Is it easy, or is it kind of a task? I mean, because this is supposed to be about your birthday.
Yeah, it's very stressful. The basement's filled up with tons of blankets and stuff.
Yeah. How many blankets would you kind of calculate, just a guesstimate, that you've given to hospital patients throughout the years?
Last year it felt like hundreds of blankets.
So hundreds now, maybe even over a couple thousand or more, just throughout the years that you have done this, huh? So, folks, and to tell you what has just really brought to my attention was my dad, when he was taken to the hospital on December 14th of 2022. He was put on a ventilator it would have been Christmas Eve. He was put on. And so Christmas morning when I went in to see him, there on my dad's bed was this blanket. And it was like a dark gray blanket. And I thought, oh, what is this? And I walked over and I saw this it was like a card. And correct me if it has your picture on it. And it talked about what your birthday cause was. And I'm not even gonna lie, I think I sat there and cried. I know I sat there and cried, and I thought, oh my goodness. But little did I know at that time, and I interviewed you, it was after the holidays, and talked to you about it, that would end up being the last Christmas gift that my dad would receive. And then the irony of it too is that you have a couple of middle names and you have the same middle name of my dad. I just think that is that blew my mind. I think I got goosebumps when you had told me that. But do you get to see any of those who are receiving the gifts? I mean, probably the firefighters and them you do, right? And police officers and first responders.
Yeah.
But at the hospital, do you ever get to see some of those? Are they awake in the morning? Because I know my dad wouldn't have been awake at that time.
Not really. It's mostly all like closed up by curtains and stuff.
Okay, good. Yeah, because do you go to a certain area or do they keep it private because of, do you pass them out? Or do the nurses pass them out? Probably might depend.
They bring shopping carts out to the driveway. They put like all the blankets and gift bags on the shopping carts, and we take them up on elevators to give them out to the nurses.
Okay, so they help you do this. It's not you doing all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Awesome. What does it feel like when you have somebody that comes up to you and approaches you that knows that you have done all of this stuff?
Heartwarming.
Yeah. Do you sometimes get embarrassed by it? I do. I'm like that. If somebody comes up and be like, I saw your show, I'm like, thank you. And I want to run away. But you're kind of like a celebrity, a local celebrity in your own way, because you've done this for so many years. Do you feel like people know who you are because of doing this cause?
Yeah, in some ways.
Sometimes, yeah. Does it surprise you sometimes? Because you're like, oh no, they do know me.
Yeah, sometimes it's like a stranger walks up to me and they say, oh, I know your mom, or like stuff like that, and I'd never seen you before, and it scares me.
It scares you, right? Stranger danger. Is that right? You're taught that, right, when you're younger? No, but you do. You become really popular over the time. Has there ever been anybody that has done something that you will always remember and has responded to you and you giving back and doing all of this?
People saying how it was the last gift their loved one ever received.
That's huge, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many years have you done the blankets? Have you done the blankets since the beginning or not?
Yeah.
You have? Okay.
Wait, no. I started giving out the blankets at the James Hospital when my grandmother was sick there.
Okay, so you found the need, and was that an idea from you, or did you kind of collaborate with your mom and dad?
It was all of us.
All of you were thinking about it. What kind of blankets are these that you're asking for people to donate?
Really fluffy ones, like something that would be warm.
The warm kind of fleece blankets, the soft, cozy blankets. And I know that at this time of year you can get them on sale Black Friday, Black Friday's already passed. You can get a lot of the sales. You can get a blanket for maybe $5, I think. Just nice warm blankets. Do you like certain kinds that have certain things on it?
My favorite bird is a cardinal blanket, and I still have one in my bed that I got from that. But
yeah.
Do
you dress up in any certain way every year when you help
I
deliver
dress
these
up as
things?
Buddy the Elf.
Why did you decide to be Buddy the Elf?
One of my favorite. I think it was one of my favorite Christmas movies, and they remind me.
He's fun.
Yeah.
He makes you laugh and smile, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. And he's an elf. So what do elves do?
Give gifts.
They give gifts. That's exactly right. I love it. What is it that you're going to do that's a little different this year than what you've done in your? No, I take that back. You did it last year, but you're going to continue to do it this year.
Yeah, I raise up money for foundation dinners, and like we're giving them hand warmers and gloves and hats, so people who go there, they can get food when they're hungry and stuff, when they need it.
Yep, and then also I know that your mom had mentioned gift cards for them for the grocery store, probably things like that as well for the homeless. I think that's really great. I'm going to tell you something that I was really shocked about. I just recently was reading an article, and it's called Choices by Scholastic, and it was talking about the homelessness of even teens. So that blew my mind. So yeah, that's something maybe, I just thought of it when I was sitting here talking to you. It's surprising how people who become homeless, and you just never know why or how. It could just be that they're in a bad place and something's happened, and it was so shocking that they ended up there, and you are helping to put a smile on their face by doing things like this. I love it. So you're collecting items, and what are some of the items? Again, you just mentioned, I know the homeless, the hand warmers, the gloves, the hats, the blankets, of course, for those at the hospital. What do you like to collect for the first responders, like the police officers and the firefighters and such?
They like protein bars and nuts and lots of like, stuff they can like make, like, cause they have like, they hang out. It's like a bunch of like, it's like a men's squad. It's pretty cool, and they bake like burgers or like stuff like that in a oven, and it's pretty, I don't know, like, yeah, stuff that they can make.
It's stuff that they can make. Do you think that they would like spices and things like that to add for their, because they probably get pretty creative, some of the cooks that cook for the fire departments. What do you get any kind of feedback? Because do you help deliver those things to the fire departments, and is it locally in Lancaster that you take it to? Yeah,
you give to like multiple different fire stations. There's one in Sugar Grove that we give to, but that's like
Burn. Yep, Burns. What do they call it? It's the one now in Sugar Grove. Yeah, Burn Township. Yeah, the station down there, fire station. I love it. Is there anything else that you think, Cyrus, that you would like to share with folks that you just really want them to know about maybe the importance of them giving and helping, and you being able to collect and to give out to these folks?
It would help put a smile on lots of people's faces.
Yep, absolutely. Well, happy belated birthday, and no, one more thing. They're taking collections at a business in downtown Lancaster called Sweet Betty's, so we don't want to forget that. And that location is at 117, South Columbus Street, that folks can drop off anything, gift cards, any of the items that I had just mentioned. So yeah, folks, if you go into the hospital, or you are one of those who are on the receiving end, like I was on the receiving end of one of these gifts, it is something that it makes your heart smile. I still have that blanket. I was telling Cyrus, I still have it. I keep it. I take it with me when I travel, because it's not a very big blanket, in memory of my dad, because of course my dad unfortunately did pass away. Many of you already know that. But I just want to say thank you, Cyrus. Thank you so much for continuing to do this. Will you keep doing this, do you think, for as long as you possibly can?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your goal this year? How many?
However many they need, like hundreds, or if they need hundreds, then I'll give them hundreds.
You'll just do as much as everybody gives. You're just going to keep on getting it out there.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You are so appreciated, folks. Oh, if you see Cyrus, say thank you, but don't just approach him, because it might be kind of like a scary thing. And I don't blame him, because I would be the same way. Anyways, thank you so much, and don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
We come from a long line of farmers, and there's a sense of pride, but there's also a significant amount of pressure.
Farmers have to take care of their physical and their mental health, because what's a farm without a farmer?
Watching the sun come up, that's my time. I can have a cup of coffee, and every day is a new opportunity.
That's cool. Your hand's gotten so Yay!
Don't forget to check in on yourself. Love your mind.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I'm really excited. I am at Salt and Light Academy in Swansboro, North Carolina, and I have Marcy Friesner with me. And I've done this on location here before, and so thank you so much, Marcy, for giving me the opportunity. This is an awesome space. It is a calm space. It is an awesome place to be, and I will let Marcy talk a little bit about that. But Marcy, you are from the one and only Sugar Grove, Ohio. Woohoo!
Yeah, you know, every time people talk about that, it takes me back to going off to college, and I would tell people I went to Ohio Dominican, and I have to give a shout out. They're now a university because they are the reason that I have this school space today. I promise you that. But when I would go off to college and say I'm from Sugar Grove, and they would be like, never even heard of it. You know, back in the day, it wasn't even on a map for the state of Ohio, and I'd be like, population 400, and somebody would inevitably say, well, 399 now that you're here. Like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always was like, well, it's between Columbus and Athens, and there is a light that,
right?
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for being here. Okay, so you went to college for what?
Yeah, so I got my Bachelor's of Science in Education. Mm-hmm. I actually minored in theology. And so fast forward to today, I graduated college in '97. Today I am an ordained pastor, and I have this amazing school. Like you said, it really is intended to be a place of peace. That's our whole goal, is that students would thrive here. So we serve grades K through 12 in a 2-room classroom, and we've been doing that now since 2009. So this is year 16 of doing that.
How have you made something like this happen, and how do you feel like it has grown throughout the years?
You know, that's a good question, and I know you talk about this a good bit on your show. Mm-hmm. It's really my faith. Mm-hmm. It's really an act of God. Like, there is no other way to explain it. My sister Melanie and I set out to do a business class to open a bakery. And at the end of the class, I had a business proposal for Salt and Light, and she went to real estate school. So, I mean, so that's how you know it was God. Like, He led every step of the way. I thought for sure I would need a master's degree or umpteen kinds of certifications or whatever. But the state of North Carolina is actually pretty cool when it comes to education, and now we're actually working with homeschool families. We haven't always done that. It hasn't always been a homeschool approach. But, I mean, really truthfully, He has just made it what it is. And you can feel that and you can see that when you're here, because I really can't take a whole lot of credit for that. Mm-hmm. You had mentioned at one point about the Chocolate Covered Chaos YouTube channel, but that's my life. Like, my life is chaos. If you were to scan my desktop, like turn that camera around and show my desktop, I'd tell everybody I'm really good at making messes. So I would have made a mess of things if I had tried to do it on my own.
Oh yeah, right. That's why we have the man upstairs, I feel. So I want to talk a little bit about the YouTube channel though, because I'd love for folks to go there. But I also want us to talk about, not that I want to move on too fast forward, because maybe we can kind of dive into those a little bit later, but I know that the holidays and this time of year is really tough for folks. But before we get to that part, what is Chocolate Covered Chaos? You mentioned it's a YouTube channel, but what is that?
Yeah, so it was really just an opportunity for me to put all my different hats on, for people out there who maybe feel like they could identify with them. Mm-hmm. So teenage mom, now young adult mom, having to DIY things, being a single mom, being left 11 years of doing it on my own. So, we do some fun videos of my most hilarious one is that watermelon cutter that you left me to use, and I totally bombed it just trying to cut a watermelon with a watermelon cutter. And so that was one of my short little videos, and all these people made these comments like, you must be using it upside down, or like all the things. And then it was a matter of just cutting one little spot on the watermelon, and then my future nephew just like cut it in 8 seconds and that video took off. So like, you just never know. But it's all of that. It's just every hat that I wear. Sometimes I'm in the classroom, sometimes I'm out on the street. You just never know.
Yes, yeah, you know, that was chocolate covered chaos because we never know what life's going to bring. But we have to enjoy it and have fun doing it, right?
Correct, yeah.
So you also, before we got started, you had mentioned about mental health and having some knowledge about that. And this is a time of year where, and I'll let you talk a little bit about what you, because it's true, it's a time of year where you see all these ads on TV. All your kids, a lot of kids out there, they think, oh, well, because of social media, not only just on TV and all of the different advertisements that they have out there, they see all these things and they think they have to have them or they need to have them. And parents, especially single parents, it's very overwhelming.
It is, yeah. We feel a lot of pressure to keep up, right?
Yeah.
And I think we do that even just with our car and our house and our clothing. Like there's a lot of things. Yeah, we have a lot of pressure. Yeah. And we sometimes project that on our children, even unknowingly. But you're right. In this crazy media-centered world, we have to take a step back and find our focus. And so the reason I mention mental health is because a huge part of why Salt and Light exists is to minister to the whole family. We get a lot of students who would not graduate from school. We get a lot of parents who are at their wits' end. They're like, if you don't rescue me, I'm gonna be doing some jail time, you know? Like we've all been there. Like
no, yeah, I had me having my background of the detention center. I asked a youth recently. He goes, my mom just lets me do whatever because she's tired of trying because she knows she's not going to get anywhere with me. I'm like, where's Marcy's school?
Oh, right.
It's not in Ohio. Yeah. But seriously, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, Tina. That really is. You really said that. And so a big passion of mine, and even since I was young, has been mental health. I remember even at little old Bern Union, and especially my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Schlosser, God rest her soul, she really let me work with those students. You know, back then, special needs wasn't a separate setting. It often even wasn't identified. But we had a few kids that literally just like sat, twiddled their thumbs, stared at the walls, and I was like, there's got to be more for them. And I remember talking to her at recess, like, can I help these kids with their math instead of them just sitting there staring blankly? You know, like it was actually, I loved it. It was really great for me. And she was all about it. And so that really snowballed into realizing the biggest thing is that, you know, people are people. We never know what somebody's going through.
Correct.
And during the holiday season, especially when we have to put on a happy face, right? We have to pretend like we love our family, even though there are some of them we don't care too much for.
we try to love our distance.
You know, right? Neighbors, all the things, right? So our mental health is super important. And that is another goal that I have, is just really to promote. I think that's a lot of kind of the behind the scenes of Chocolate Covered Chaos, is if I can get people to laugh at my stupidity and my mistakes, you know, or if I can encourage them that even I have days of struggle, then we can get through it together.
What do you think that in the last couple of minutes that we have left that you can share with folks that can help us to maybe not worry about everybody else and look within ourselves? Because when we do that, it can really make our lives not only better, but it will make those around us better as well. Is there anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing is, and my students could quote me on this one, I always say, you decide who gets to rent your headspace, right? So you really do. I actually learned the neuroscience behind it very recently for some public speaking I did, but even apart from the neuroscience, your thinking trains your brain, not the other way around. So absolutely. You change your thinking, right? You put a positive spin, like here in our classroom, we don't say, don't run, don't do this, don't do that. We tell them what they can do, right? These are your can-dos. If you can do that in your own headspace, right? So I can't buy my son the latest iPhone or the latest J's, but what can I do? I can do this for him, and I can do that for him. And even what can I do for myself, right? So I don't have $1 million to go on a resort vacation, but what can I do for myself right now? That's a huge piece of it.
Yeah. Don't set yourself up or your kids up for failure. Set yourself up for success. And then doing that is don't put these huge, large things right in front of you when you can't do them at that time. Marcy, what is your contact information here at Salt and Light?
So there's a few ways. You can just find Salt and Light Academy Homeschool on Instagram and Facebook. You can also email us, and I'm just going to, is it okay if I just give them our phone number at the office?
Yes,
I mean, seriously, like, you can call us. We'd love a real phone call over the spam. 910-325-7757. We are literally just a phone call away.
And Marcy's an author, but we'll have to get to that another time. Marcy, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. Folks, I went on a literary book trip. If you have ever heard of Bountiful Blessings, my friend Jody Bird is the person that does she does a blog on it. She's got a Facebook page. She does different things all the time. I never know when she's gonna do something and different and fun. Well, she had put out that she was doing a literary book trip, and I was available, and I said, hey, I want to go. So we drove to Detroit, Michigan, the Detroit Dearborn area, stayed at a really nice Holiday Inn Express, I believe it was. But anyways, I found a couple of books. We went to the second largest bookstore, and it didn't have any of the new books in it. They were all used. I was overwhelmed that it was really too much for me. I thought, oh my goodness. But it was a really cool place to go. I think it was called John K. King's Books or something. Anyways, then we hit a couple of other bookstores, and one of them was a children's bookstore, and this book is called Finding Muchness, How to Add More Life to Life. I do not have the little duckling that you can purchase. I meant to do that. I just haven't done it yet. But I will, and I will more than likely get one of these for my niece. It actually says on the back of the book, you guys, recommended for ages 99 and younger. And what it's about is muchness is the full-hearted abundance of hope, joy, and imagination that each of us has when we come into this world. It is there for us to love, to dare, to dream, to create, and to live our best life. But over time, as we take on more responsibilities and worries, our doubts and fears have a way of growing with us. And because of this, we can lose much of our muchness. This little book is about finding it again. So I love it. It is by Kobe Yamada, is who it's written by, and illustrated by Charles Santoso. The other book, I might save for another time. Folks, I just want to thank you so much for watching the show, and I hope you have a great week. God bless, and good day.